A monster vertical leap isn't built in your quads. It's forged in the mind and the nervous system. Stick with me here because I'm about to show you something that most people who struggle with a low vertical jump never figure out. There's a specific pathway that allows you to add inches to your jump in a way that most people never consider. This isn't about genetics. It's about following a sequence that makes your body a powerful spring. You don't need to be some freak athlete. You just need to know which steps to take and in what order. So let's get into it. Think of your brain as the engine's throttle and your muscles as the pistons. You could have a Ferrari engine, but if you're only pressing the gas pedal a quarter of the way down, you're not going anywhere fast. This is the concept of neuromuscular efficiency, the ability of your brain to recruit a high percentage of your muscle fibers in an instant. Most athletes only use a fraction of their potential power. Our goal is to train the nervous system to flip the switch from off to full throttle in a blink. This is where exercises like low amplitude, high velocity jumps come in. Forget jumping as high as you can. We're going for speed. The key is to keep your knees slightly bent and minimize ground contact time. This trains your nervous system to fire muscles faster and more efficiently. This will make you feel like you have springs in your feet, allowing you to react instantly in sports like basketball, where a quick change of direction can create a wide open lane. You're teaching your brain to trust that your muscles can handle a massive load in a split second, which is the exact mental and physical skill you need for a higher jump. Now that we've taught your nervous system to stomp on the gas, we need to make sure your body can handle the force. Imagine trying to drive a car with no brakes. You'd be out of control. Your body has a similar braking system called eccentric strength. This is the ability of your muscles to absorb force, which is the key to storing and releasing energy like a rubber band. The difference between your jump and an elite athlete's jump is that they absorb force like a sponge, then release it like a slingshot. The faster and more powerful you can absorb force during your jump's counter movement, the more energy you can store and use to propel yourself upward. This is the stretch-shortening cycle in action. Most people skip this step, which is why their jumps look so weak. A great way to train this is with drop jumps. Step off a box, and as soon as your feet hit the ground, immediately explode into a vertical jump. The focus is not on how high you jump, but on how little time you spend on the ground. You're forcing your body to absorb the shock of the drop and instantly convert that energy into upward momentum. This will give you the kind of explosive power that lets you take off in an instant, whether you're fighting for a rebound or trying to get a block. You can have the fastest firing nervous system and the best braking system in the world, but if your engine is weak, you're still not getting anywhere. For a vertical jump, the true power comes from your posterior chain, your hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. These are the biggest and strongest muscles in your body, yet most people neglect them. They're so obsessed with their quads, they forget the real power generators are in the back. So, how do you fire up this engine? You need to train it with bilateral and unilateral hip-dominant exercises. Try a dumbbell Romanian deadlift for your hamstrings. Hinge at your hips to lower the weights, feeling a deep stretch. This will build the foundational strength you need to use your powerful hip extension for a jump. For your glutes, try single-leg glute bridges. This will make you incredibly stable and powerful, which is crucial for maximizing your jump height. Many athletes have a lot of raw strength, but lack the ability to transfer it from their hips and core to their legs. They are leaky athletes. If you want a truly explosive jump, you need a rigid torso to act as a solid base for your legs to push against. Think of it like a coiled spring. The spring won't fire unless it's held firmly in place. This is where your core comes in. For basketball, a stiff core means you can elevate over a defender without losing balance. A brilliant technique elite athletes use is focusing on anti-rotation and anti-extension exercises. These are the fancy terms for exercises that force your core to stop your body from twisting or arching. Forget crunches and sit-ups. They're about as useful for a vertical jump as a basketball is for a golf swing. Instead, try a Pallof press. This is a simple exercise that's a game changer. Use a resistance band to resist twisting while you press it away from your chest. Your core will be screaming, but it will thank you later. Another great one is hanging leg raise. This builds insane core strength and hip flexor power. Now we've built a powerful, coordinated jumping machine, it's time to talk about the mistakes most people make. You can have all the power in the world, but if your jumping form is a mess, you're leaving inches on the table. A lot of people think jumping is just something you do instinctively. It's not. It's a skill, and like any skill, a perfect free throw, a lightning-fast crossover, it needs to be practiced. Here are a few common mistakes. Not using your arms. Your arms are a huge source of momentum. Think about it. Every great basketball player uses their arms to help them get up. Your arms should swing back and then explode forward and up as you jump. Don't be that guy who looks like he's trying to paddle through the air. A sloppy approach. For a two-legged jump, you need a long, aggressive second-to-last step, the penultimate step. This allows you to convert horizontal speed into vertical power. A brilliant technique elite athletes use is a long penultimate step. If your approach looks like a series of small, timid steps, you're killing your momentum. Leaning too far forward. This is the most common mistake. It takes your glutes and hamstrings out of the equation and puts all the stress on your lower back. The difference between your jump and an elite athlete's jump is that they maintain a tall chest and their hips are under their shoulders. You need to keep your hips under your shoulders to activate your hips and glutes. This is where you actually use all the power you've built. Now that you've built a powerful, coordinated jumping machine, it's time to teach it to handle more. This is where you introduce a concept most athletes are terrified of: overload. We're not talking about just lifting heavier weights. We're talking about forcing your nervous system and muscles to produce force beyond what they are used to. This is the secret sauce for breaking through plateaus. Weighted jumps. You've trained the motion, now add a little resistance. A weighted vest or a light dumbbell held in each hand can force your muscles to fire with more intensity. A basketball player can use a weighted vest during specific drills to get used to the feeling of more resistance, making them feel like they're flying when they take it off. This is what separates the average player from the one who can just effortlessly elevate for a dunk. Resisted jumps. Use a resistance band looped around your waist. Have a partner stand behind you, creating resistance as you perform your jump. This forces you to generate more power just to get off the ground, essentially tricking your body into becoming stronger. Look at a basketball game. How often do you jump off 2 feet? Rebounding, yes, but dunks, layups, and drives to the basket are almost always a 1-foot jump. If you're only training with 2 feet, you're neglecting half of your explosive power. Your body needs to be able to generate maximum force and maintain stability from a single leg. It's about turning each leg into its own rocket booster. Bulgarian split squats. This is the king of single leg exercises. With your back foot elevated on a bench, squat down on your front leg. You'll not only build immense strength, but also improve balance and stability. This is crucial for landing a one-legged jump without falling over. Single leg hops. Just like those low amplitude jumps from step 1, but now you're doing them on one leg. Hop on one leg, focusing on spending as little time on the ground as possible. Don't worry about height. Think about reaction time. This will make your one-legged jumps feel effortless and fast, just like a quick layup in a fast break. The path to a higher jump isn't paved with more reps, but with smarter training. Now you know the secrets. The only thing left to do is put in the work. And if you want a specialized training plan, grab the Athletic Blueprint. It's laid out with everything you actually need: strength, speed, mobility, all in the right order, so your training finally works.